Welcome to Who Immortal Today, the channel where fame, time, and transformation collide. Today, we're throwing it back to the boldest, baddest, and most beautiful icons of a generation and top 20 sexiest female stars and singers of the 1980s, then versus now. These women weren't just stars, they were legends. From movie screens to concert stages, they defined beauty, broke boundaries, and turned heads everywhere they went. But here's the twist. Time changes everything. Some have aged with timeless grace, others reinvented their entire image, and a few, you'll barely recognize them. We're talking jaw-dropping before and after transformations, untold stories from behind the spotlight, and some seriously unexpected glow-ups. Think you remember the 1980s? Think again. This is more than just a nostalgia trip. It's a countdown of the women who set the decade on fire, and what they look like now. So hit that like button, subscribe for more throwback deep dives, and get ready, because these transformations will leave you speechless. This is Who Immortal Today, and these are the queens of the 80s like you've never seen them before. News 1. Madonna. The queen of pop, who redefined fashion, sex appeal, and rebellion. Madonna Louise Ciccone, widely known simply as Madonna, is a cultural icon whose influence extends far beyond music. Born on August 16, 1958, in Bay City, Michigan, and raised in Rochester Hills, Madonna emerged in the early 1980s as a force that would redefine the boundaries of pop music, fashion, and female sexuality. Often dubbed the Queen of Pop, she transformed the music industry with her innovative approach to sound, image, and performance, inspiring generations of artists and fans around the world. Madonna moved to New York City in 1978 to pursue a career in dance and music. After years of struggling to make her mark, she released her self-titled debut album in 1983, which featured hits like Holiday and Borderline. The album's success was the first indication of her potential, but it was her follow-up albums, Like a Virgin, 1984, and True Blue, 1986, that catapulted her into international superstardom. With catchy hooks and bold, provocative lyrics, these albums established Madonna as a trendsetter both sonically and visually. What set Madonna apart was her fearless approach to self-expression. She pushed the envelope with her provocative music videos and stage performances that challenged societal norms. Songs like a Virgin and Material Girl used sex appeal unapologetically, flipping the script on how female sexuality was portrayed in mainstream media. Madonna's unabashed confidence and control over her image empowered women to embrace their own sexuality on their own terms, breaking away from the conservative molds of the era. In addition to her musical prowess, Madonna revolutionized fashion in the 1980s. Her style was bold, eclectic, and ever-changing, influencing countless fans and fashion designers alike. From the lace gloves and layered jewelry of her Like a Virgin era, to the sleek, futuristic looks of the Blonde Ambition tour, Madonna's fashion choices were statements of rebellion and individuality. She popularized trends such as bustier as outerwear, crucifix jewelry, and fishnet stockings, which have since become staples in pop culture. Madonna's impact was not limited to music and fashion. She was also a savvy businesswoman and cultural provocateur. Her 1990 Blonde Ambition World Tour is often credited with transforming the concert experience into a theatrical spectacle. She also used her platform to address issues such as gender equality, LGBTQ+ rights, and freedom of expression. Albums like Erotica, 1992, and the controversial book Sex pushed boundaries around sexuality and censorship, sparking debates but also opening up new conversations about sexual liberation. Throughout her career spanning 4 decades, Madonna has released 14 studio albums and sold over 300 million records worldwide, making her one of the best-selling female artists in history. She has earned numerous awards, including 7 Grammy Awards, and was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2008. Madonna's legacy lies in her ability to constantly reinvent herself while remaining authentic. She paved the way for countless artists who followed, showing that a female pop star could be powerful, unapologetic, and in control of her narrative. Today, Madonna remains active in music, film, and philanthropy, continuing to influence culture and inspire fans with her fearless spirit and relentless creativity. In short, Madonna is not just a pop star. She is a cultural phenomenon who redefined what it means to be a woman in the entertainment industry, forever changing fashion, music, and the way we think about sex and rebellion. News 2. Whitney Houston. A timeless beauty with one of the most iconic voices of the decade. Whitney Elizabeth Houston, born on August 9, 1963 in Newark, New Jersey, is widely regarded as one of the greatest vocalists of all time. With a voice that combined power, clarity, and emotion, Whitney Houston became a defining figure of the 1980s and 1990s music scene, captivating millions worldwide and leaving an indelible mark on pop and R&B music. Born into a musical family, Whitney was destined for stardom. Her mother, Cissy Houston, was a renowned gospel singer, and her cousins included the legendary Dionne Warwick and Dee Dee Warwick. Whitney's exposure to music began early, performing in church choirs and touring with her mother's gospel group. Her natural talent was evident from a young age, and by her teenage years, she was already performing as a backup singer for prominent artists. Whitney's breakthrough came in 1985 when she signed with Arista Records. Her self-titled debut album, released in 1985, was an instant success, producing chart-topping singles like You Give Good Love and Saving All My Love for You. The album showcased her extraordinary vocal range and emotive delivery, quickly establishing her as a powerhouse in both pop and soul genres. Her second album, Whitney, 1987, solidified her superstar status with hits such as I Wanna Dance with Somebody Who Loves Me and Didn't We Almost Have It All? Whitney became the first female artist to debut at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, reflecting her immense popularity. Her music bridged the gap between R&B, pop, and adult contemporary, appealing to a broad audience and earning critical acclaim. Beyond her music, Whitney Houston was also a talented actress. Her role in the 1992 film The Bodyguard opposite Kevin Costner introduced her to a new generation of fans. The film's soundtrack, featuring the iconic rendition of I Will Always Love You, became one of the best-selling soundtracks of all time. The song itself showcased Whitney's extraordinary vocal power and emotional depth, earning her worldwide acclaim and multiple awards. Despite her monumental success, Whitney's life was marked by personal struggles. She faced battles with addiction and turbulent relationships that often overshadowed her career. However, her talent and influence remained undeniable. Whitney's voice continued to inspire countless artists across genres, earning her a lasting legacy in the music world. Whitney Houston won numerous awards throughout her career, including 6 Grammy Awards, 22 American Music Awards, and 16 Billboard Music Awards. She was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2020, a testament to her enduring impact on music and culture. Her contributions to music went beyond entertainment. Whitney's voice became a symbol of hope, love, and resilience. Her ability to convey deep emotion connected with audiences worldwide, making her an enduring figure in popular culture. Whitney Houston passed away tragically in 2012, but her music and legacy continue to live on. She remains an inspiration for singers and fans alike, remembered as a timeless beauty with one of the most iconic voices of her generation. In summary, Whitney Houston's remarkable talent, groundbreaking success, and emotional performances have solidified her place as a true legend in music history. Her voice continues to echo across generations, touching hearts and inspiring dreams. News 3. Cyndi Lauper, a quirky, colorful fashion icon with unforgettable charisma. Cyndi Lauper, born Cynthia Ann Stephanie Lauper on June 22, 1953, in Queens, New York City, is an American singer, songwriter, actress, and activist known for her bold fashion sense, powerful voice, and magnetic personality. Rising to fame in the 1980s, Lauper became one of the decade's most distinctive pop stars, carving out a unique identity in a male-dominated industry. With her eclectic style and energetic performances, she quickly captured the attention and hearts of fans around the world. Cyndi's early life was shaped by a love of music. Influenced by artists like the Beatles and Judy Garland, she began writing songs and playing guitar in her teens. Despite facing challenges and instability at home, Lauper remained committed to her dreams. She performed in various bands throughout the 1970s, before finding major success in the early 80s as the lead singer of the band Blue Angel. Though the group eventually disbanded, Lauper's star was just beginning to rise. Her solo debut album, She's So Unusual, 1983, catapulted her to international stardom. With its bright pop sound and rebellious spirit, the album produced 4 top 5 hits, including Girls Just Wanna Have Fun, Time After Time, She Bop, and All Through the Night. Lauper became the first female artist to have 4 top 5 singles from a debut album on the Billboard Hot 100. Her blend of punk energy, emotional ballads, and colorful persona made her a standout artist of the decade. Lauper's fashion choices became as iconic as her music. With her vibrant hair, mismatched clothing, layered accessories, and daring makeup, she created a look that was unapologetically her own. She embraced individuality and self-expression, encouraging young people, especially girls, to be themselves without apology. Cyndi wasn't just a pop star, she became a symbol of creative freedom and female empowerment. Throughout the 1980s and beyond, Lauper continued to evolve. Her second album, True Colors, 1986, showcased a more mature sound and included the heartfelt anthem True Colors, which became a beacon for the LGBTQ+ community. Lauper's support for LGBTQ+ rights grew stronger over the years, and she later founded the True Colors Fund, a non-profit organization dedicated to ending youth homelessness among LGBTQ+ individuals. In addition to her music career, Lauper has enjoyed success as an actress, appearing in films and television shows, and even earning an Emmy Award. Her talents extended to Broadway, where she wrote the music and lyrics for the hit musical Kinky Boots, which won 6 Tony Awards including Best Score, making her the first solo woman to win in that category. Cyndi Lauper's influence transcends music. Her fearless individuality, advocacy work, and genre-defying artistry have solidified her place as a pop culture icon. With over 50 million records sold and a legacy of empowering generations to embrace who they are, she remains a beloved figure in entertainment. In summary, Cyndi Lauper is far more than a quirky fashion icon. She is a trailblazer, a voice for the underrepresented, and a true original whose charisma and creativity have stood the test of time. News 4. Debbie Gibson, the teen pop idol who captured hearts with her charm and talent. Debbie Gibson, born Deborah Ann Gibson on August 31, 1970 in Brooklyn, New York, is a singer, songwriter, and actress who made a significant mark on the pop music scene in the late 1980s and early 1990s. Known for her bubbly personality, catchy songs, and impressive musical talent, Gibson rose to fame as one of the most successful teen pop idols of her era, earning a special place in the hearts of fans worldwide. From a young age, Debbie showed a passion for music and performance. She began writing and composing her own songs at just 5 years old, and by the time she was a teenager, was already performing in local talent shows and community events. After attending the prestigious Jericho High School in Long Island, Debbie's natural talent began to shine. She signed with Atlantic Records at the age of 16, a rare accomplishment for someone so young. Her debut album, Out of the Blue 1987, released when she was just 17, was a game changer. The album featured the hit singles Only in My Dreams, Shake Your Love, and the chart-topping Foolish Beat. The latter became her first #1 single on the Billboard Hot 100, making Gibson the youngest female artist to write, produce, and perform a #1 single. This achievement made her a teen sensation, and her wholesome yet glamorous image resonated with millions of young fans. With her distinctive blend of catchy pop melodies and youthful energy, Debbie Gibson's music defined the sound of the late 1980s and early 1990s. Her songs were filled with heartfelt lyrics and positive vibes, which set her apart from other teen pop stars of the time. Hits like Electric Youth from her 1989 album of the same name further solidified her status as a pop culture phenomenon. The song Electric Youth became her second chart-topping hit, and the album also went platinum, cementing her place in music history. Unlike many of her pop peers, Gibson took a hands-on approach to her career. She was known not only for her talent as a singer and performer, but also for her impressive songwriting and production skills. Her ability to write and produce her own music gave her a rare level of control over her artistic direction, which endeared her to fans and set a new standard for young female artists. As the 90s progressed, Gibson continued to release music, though her commercial success began to wane. However, her influence on pop music remained undeniable. She eventually transitioned into acting, starring in television movies and Broadway productions. Her most notable role came in the 2000s when she starred in the hit Broadway musical Beauty and the Beast, and later appeared in Chicago and Hairspray. Debbie Gibson also made a comeback in the 2000s with new music, and continued to perform for dedicated fans. Her influence is still felt in pop culture today, as she remains a beloved figure in the music industry and a trailblazer for young female artists. In summary, Debbie Gibson is more than just a teen idol. She is a talented musician, songwriter, and actress who defined the late 80s pop scene with her youthful charm and undeniable talent. Her achievements at such a young age have paved the way for future generations of female artists, proving that hard work, creativity, and authenticity can lead to lasting success. News 5. Sheena Easton, sultry voice, sleek style, and Bond girl allure. With a voice as smooth as silk and a presence that turned heads worldwide, Sheena Easton rose from Scottish obscurity to international stardom in the 1980s, blending pop glamour, vocal prowess, and cinematic charisma. Born on April 27, 1959, in Bells Hill, Scotland, Easton's journey from a working-class upbringing to Grammy-winning success is a testament to ambition and reinvention. Sheena's breakthrough came in 1980, after appearing on the BBC documentary series The Big Time, which followed her efforts to land a record deal. Her determination paid off quickly. Her debut singles Modern Girl and 9 to 5, retitled Morning Train in the US, soared up the charts. Morning Train reached #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, making her an instant pop sensation in the US, a rare feat for a British female solo artist at the time. What set Easton apart wasn't just her chart success, it was her versatility. Her clear, emotive soprano could deliver bubbly pop, torch ballads, or edgy funk with equal finesse. This range helped her collaborate with icons like Prince, with whom she recorded the provocative duet You Got the Look in 1987. The song became a top 10 hit and showcased a new, edgier side to Easton's sleek, stylish, and confidently sensual. That same magnetic allure caught the attention of Hollywood. In 1981, Sheena became part of the legendary James Bond franchise by performing the theme song for For Your Eyes Only. She remains the only artist to appear in the title sequence of a Bond film while singing the theme, instantly linking her image to the suave, seductive world of 007. The song earned an Academy Award nomination and solidified her status as a global star with undeniable Bond girl appeal. Throughout the 1980s and early 1990s, Easton released a string of successful albums spanning pop, R&B, and adult contemporary genres. Her hits like Strut, Sugar Walls, and The Lover in Me reflected her ability to evolve with the times while maintaining her signature class and vocal integrity. Beyond music, Easton expanded her artistic repertoire with acting roles in TV series like Miami Vice and stage performances, including Broadway's Man of La Mancha. Her adaptability across media highlighted both her dramatic presence and professional longevity. Though her commercial peak waned with the turn of the millennium, Sheena Easton never truly disappeared. She continued to perform live, delighting fans with her timeless voice and charisma. Her influence lingers not only in the music charts she once topped, but also in the path she paved for international female artists, balancing mainstream appeal with artistic credibility. From Scottish newcomer to Grammy winner, Bond chanteuse to pop icon, Sheena Easton's career has always been a masterclass in style, sound, and survival. Her sultry voice and sleek, ever-evolving image ensured her a lasting place in pop history and in the hearts of fans around the world. News 6. Pat Benatar rocked the charts with a voice as bold as her look. Pat Benatar didn't just arrive on the music scene, she exploded onto it. With a voice that could shatter glass and a look that blended rock defiance with polished glamour, she became one of the most influential female rock vocalists of the 1980s. Her sound was fierce, her presence undeniable, and her legacy one of sheer power and trailblazing artistry. Born Patricia May Andreevsky on January 10, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York, Benatar showed early musical promise. Classically trained as a mezzo-soprano, she initially pursued opera before pivoting to rock, a choice that would define her career. Her vocal power, refined through discipline but unleashed with raw emotion, became her trademark in a genre still heavily dominated by men. Benatar's breakthrough came in 1979 with her debut album In the Heat of the Night, which featured the now classic track, Heartbreaker. The album's fusion of hard rock, new wave, and Benatar's unmistakable vocal fire announced her arrival with authority. But it was her 1980 album Crimes of Passion, featuring the hit Hit Me With Your Best Shot, that made her a household name. That single, along with its bold, no-nonsense lyrics, became an anthem for empowerment and earned Benatar her first Grammy Award. With her spandex-clad image, smoky eyes, and confident stage swagger, Benatar projected strength and independence at a time when women in rock were often relegated to the background. Yet her look was never a gimmick. It was a reflection of her sound, tough, stylish, and unafraid. She embodied the MTV generation's visual era while staying grounded in vocal talent and musical integrity. Benatar continued her chart dominance with hits like Love is a Battlefield, We Belong, Shadows of the Night, and Invincible. Each track showcased her versatility from power ballads to punchy rock anthems, anchored by a voice that could roar or soothe in equal measure. Her music videos, especially the dramatic and choreographed Love is a Battlefield, also played a major role in shaping early MTV aesthetics. At the heart of her success was her collaboration with guitarist, producer, and husband, Neil Giraldo. Their creative and personal partnership fueled a string of multi-platinum albums and a unique musical chemistry that defied trends and industry expectations. Benatar won 4 consecutive Grammy Awards for Best Female Rock Vocal Performance from 1980 to 1983, a record that stood unmatched for decades. Her influence opened doors for future generations of female rock artists, from Joan Jett to Pink, proving that women could not only stand shoulder to shoulder with male rockers but often outshine them. Though her mainstream radio presence waned in the 1990s, Benatar never stopped performing. Her voice remains as dynamic as ever, and her live shows continue to draw passionate fans, old and new. In 2022, she was finally inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a long overdue recognition of her groundbreaking contributions. Pat Benatar didn't just sing rock, she owned it. With a fearless voice and a look to match, she carved out a place where strength met style, and where women didn't ask for a seat at the table, they took the stage. New 7, Paula Abdul, dance pop queen with seductive moves and sweet edgy appeal. In the vibrant world of 1980s and 90s pop, Paula Abdul stood out as a rare triple threat dancer, singer, and choreographer, with a signature blend of charm, talent, and edge. Her meteoric rise from behind-the-scenes choreographer to chart-topping pop star made her a defining figure of the dance pop era, admired for her slick moves, catchy hooks, and girl-next-door meets streetwise persona. Born on June 19, 1962, in San Fernando, California, Paula Abdul began her career in entertainment not as a singer, but as a dancer. While studying at California State University, Northridge, she joined the Los Angeles Lakers' famed Laker Girls cheerleading squad, quickly rising to head choreographer. Her eye-catching routines caught the attention of the music industry, and by the mid-1980s, Abdul was choreographing for stars like Janet Jackson, notably helping shape the iconic moves of Jackson's Control and Rhythm Nation era. Despite no formal training as a singer, Abdul's undeniable charisma and sense of rhythm helped her transition from choreographer to pop star. Her debut album, Forever Your Girl, released in 1988, was a slow burn that ultimately exploded, spawning 4 #1 Billboard Hot 100 hits, including Straight Up, Cold Hearted, Opposites Attract, and the title track. With her soft, slightly breathy voice layered over energetic beats and slick production, Abdul carved a niche all her own. Dance pop with attitude, Abdul's music videos were central to her appeal. In the MTV era, she was a visual artist, marrying storytelling, dance, and fashion into 3-minute spectacles. The animated live-action hybrid video for Opposites Attract, featuring the cartoon character MC Scat Cat, became a cultural phenomenon and a testament to her playful creativity. What made Abdul truly unique, however, was her ability to blend sweetness with edge. Her smile could light up a room, but her choreography was sharp, bold, and sexy, often pushing boundaries. This duality made her relatable to fans and admired by peers. In 1991, she earned a Grammy Award for Best Music Video and 2 Emmy Awards for choreography, further cementing her legacy as a dance innovator. After her early success, Abdul faced vocal strain, health issues, and industry challenges that slowed her momentum. Yet, she remained a beloved figure, with later albums like Spellbound offering hits such as Rush Rush and The Promise of a New Day. Her music evolved, but her appeal never faded. In the 2000s, Paula Abdul reinvented herself once again, this time as a television personality. As an original judge on American Idol, she brought heart, humor, and an artist's insight, helping to launch a new era of reality music competition. Her nurturing, occasionally unpredictable presence made her a fan favorite all over again. From pop charts to primetime television, Paula Abdul has never stopped moving. Whether dancing across a stage or encouraging new talent, she remains a dynamic force in entertainment proof that style, sincerity, and rhythm are a timeless combination. News 8. Brooke Shields, Calvin Klein model and Blue Lagoon star. Innocence meets allure. Brooke Shields became a cultural phenomenon before she was old enough to vote, embodying a rare blend of innocence and allure that made her one of the most recognizable faces of the late 20th century. As both a model and actress, Shields walked the tightrope between youth and maturity in a media landscape fascinated with beauty, controversy, and celebrity. Her legacy is one of early fame, resilience, and reinvention. Born on May 31, 1965 in New York City, Brooke Krista Shields entered the spotlight at an extraordinarily young age. With striking features, wide blue eyes, porcelain skin, and iconic brow, Shields was modeling by age 11 months. Her early work included everything from department store ads to high-fashion campaigns, and by the time she was a teenager, she was a regular presence in the pages of Vogue and Harper's Bazaar. It was her work with Calvin Klein in 1980 that catapulted her into a new stratosphere of fame. At just 15 years old, Shields starred in the now legendary jeans ad campaign declaring, "You want to know what comes between me and my Calvins? Nothing." The provocative line, paired with her youthful beauty, sparked international controversy and instant icon status. The ad was banned on several networks, but the notoriety only fueled public fascination with her. That same year, she starred in The Blue Lagoon, a romantic survival drama that placed her and co-star Christopher Atkins on a deserted island in a coming-of-age narrative laced with both beauty and controversy. While the film was criticized for its sexual themes involving underage characters, it cemented Shields as a symbol of conflicted innocence, a young woman cast into adult roles before her time. Despite the public scrutiny, Shields managed to steer her career with unexpected grace. She attended Princeton University, graduating with honors in French literature in 1987. This academic achievement helped recast her image from tabloid fixture to intellectual and serious performer. Her acting career evolved throughout the 90s and 2000s with roles in TV shows such as Suddenly Susan, which earned her 2 Golden Globe nominations. Shields balanced her glamorous persona with self-aware humor, showing she could laugh at her own celebrity while still commanding attention. She also took on Broadway roles in Cabaret Chicago and Wonderful Town, demonstrating her versatility as a performer. Off-screen, Shields has been a vocal advocate for mental health, particularly postpartum depression, which she detailed in her memoir, Down Came the Rain. Her willingness to speak openly about personal struggles further endeared her to the public and redefined her image once again, not as a child star, but as a mature, grounded woman who grew up under the spotlight and came through it with strength. From Calvin Klein model to Ivy League graduate, from the Blue Lagoon to Broadway, Brooke Shields has lived a life shaped by beauty, intellect, and resilience. She remains a compelling figure, proof that innocence and allure can coexist, and that grace can endure even the most intense fame. News 9. Bo Derek, the ultimate sex symbol of the decade, thanks to 10. Few stars have had a single role define their public image as powerfully as Bo Derek. With her golden braids, bronzed skin, and unforgettable beach run in 10, 1979, Derek became the epitome of late 20th century sex appeal. Her beauty, forever immortalized in slow motion against the ocean waves, turned her into an instant icon, a symbol of fantasy and sensuality in a decade obsessed with glamour. Born Mary Kathleen Collins on November 20th, 1956 in Long Beach, California, Bo Derek entered the world of modeling and acting in her teens. She met filmmaker John Derek, 30 years her senior, when she was just 17. The relationship caused controversy due to the age gap, but the two eventually married and formed a personal and professional partnership that would shape the rest of her career. Her cinematic breakthrough came with 10, directed by Blake Edwards and starring Dudley Moore and Julie Andrews. In the film, Bo plays Jenny Hanley, the ethereal, unattainable woman who captivates Moore's character. Though her role was relatively small in terms of dialogue, her presence was seismic. The scene of her jogging along the beach in a nude-colored swimsuit and beaded cornrows became one of the most iconic moments in modern film history. 10 not only launched her career, but also transformed Bo Derek into a cultural phenomenon. She became a staple of magazine covers, talk shows, and pop culture references. Her image represented a new era of beauty, sun-kissed, athletic, and effortlessly sexy. But along with the acclaim came typecasting. Hollywood, captivated by her looks, struggled to see past them. Throughout the 1980s, Bo starred in a series of films directed by her husband, including Tarzan, The Ape Man, 1981, Bolero, 1984, and Ghosts Can't Do It, 1989. While these projects emphasized her physical appeal, they were critically panned and often overshadowed by sensational marketing. Nonetheless, they maintained her presence in the public eye and solidified her reputation as a daring and provocative figure in entertainment. Despite the criticism, Derek remained unapologetic about the path her career took. She embraced her status as a sex symbol while also demonstrating independence and loyalty, particularly through her 22-year marriage to John Derek until his death in 1998. Off-screen, she pursued passions that ranged from equestrian sports to humanitarian causes, including advocacy for disabled veterans and wild horse protection. In later years, Bo Derek took on occasional film and television roles, often playing self-referential parts that leaned into her public persona with humor and self-awareness. She also authored a memoir, Riding Lessons, Everything That Matters in Life I Learned from Horses, reflecting a more personal and grounded side of the woman behind the image. While critics debated her acting, few could deny the impact of her allure. For a generation, Bo Derek wasn't just a movie star, she was a fantasy brought to life. Her legacy as the ultimate sex symbol of the 70s and 80s endures, a testament to the power of a single moment on screen to shape pop culture forever. News then. Phoebe Cates. Known for one of the most iconic pool scenes in movie history. In the pantheon of unforgettable movie moments, few scenes are as instantly recognizable or as enduringly referenced as Phoebe Cates stepping out of a pool in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, 1982. With that one slow-motion sequence set to the cars moving in stereo, Cates became a pop culture icon. But beyond that legendary moment, she remains a figure of grace, quiet charm, and enduring appeal. Born on July 16, 1963 in New York City, Phoebe Belle Cates came from a creative background. Her father, Joseph Cates, was a television producer and Broadway figure, while her uncle Gil Cates was a prominent film director. Originally trained as a ballet dancer, Cates studied at the Professional Children's School and the prestigious School of American Ballet before an injury ended her dance career prematurely. Undeterred, she shifted her focus to modeling and acting. Cates began modeling in her teens and was soon appearing in major fashion magazines. But it was her move into film that would define her career. She made her acting debut in Paradise, 1982, a tropical romance film that drew comparisons to The Blue Lagoon. However, it was her role as Linda Barrett in Fast Times at Ridgemont High that made her a star. Directed by Amy Heckerling and based on a script by Cameron Crowe, Fast Times was a sharp, funny, and often unfiltered look at teenage life in Southern California. Cates' performance blended confidence with vulnerability, portraying a character who was both idolized and relatable. The now famous pool scene part fantasy, part satire cemented her status as a teenage dream for an entire generation. Yet Cates handled the fame that followed with grace and a level-headedness rare in young Hollywood. After Fast Times, Cates continued to work steadily in film, starring in Private School, 1983, Gremlins, 1984, and its sequel Gremlins 2, The New Batch, 1990, as well as the dark comedy Drop Dead Fred, 1991. She showcased a wide range from comedic timing to quiet emotional depth, proving she was more than just a screen siren. In 1989, Cates married actor Kevin Klein, and the couple later had 2 children. Choosing to focus on family, she gradually stepped away from acting in the mid-1990s. Her final film role came in The Anniversary Party, 2001, directed by and co-starring her longtime friend Jennifer Jason Leigh. Though she largely left the screen behind, Cates remained connected to the arts. She launched a successful boutique in Manhattan called Blue Tree, offering curated fashion, gifts, and home decor, a stylish reflection of her creative spirit. Phoebe Cates may have risen to fame through one unforgettable movie moment, but her career and life were never defined by it alone. With poise, intelligence, and authenticity, she transitioned from teen star to beloved figure of quiet influence. In an industry that often demands more, she chose balance, and that choice, like her legacy, remains iconic. News 11. Heather Locklear, blonde bombshell who ruled 80s television. In the golden age of primetime drama and glitzy soap operas, few stars shine brighter than Heather Locklear. With her radiant blonde beauty, confident screen presence, and uncanny ability to play both sweetheart and schemer, Locklear became one of the most recognizable and talked about faces on television during the 1980s and into the 90s. Her reign as a small-screen siren helped define the era and made her a pop culture icon. Born on September 25, 1961, in Los Angeles, California, Heather Dean Locklear was seemingly destined for the spotlight. She began modeling and appearing in commercials while attending UCLA, but quickly transitioned into acting, where her mix of charisma and classic California looks made her an instant standout. Locklear's television breakthrough came in 1981, when she was cast as Sammy Jo Carrington on the hit primetime soap Dynasty, brought in to spice up the already drama-filled series. Her role as the devious and ambitious niece of the Carrington clan quickly became a fan favorite. Her character's blend of beauty, boldness, and manipulation helped Locklear stand out in a show already packed with glamorous power players. She remained on Dynasty through much of the 1980s, cementing her reputation as television's ultimate blonde bombshell. At the same time, Locklear also starred in the action-packed cop drama T.J. Hooker alongside William Shatner. Playing Officer Stacy Sheridan, she brought a mix of grit and glamour to the role, and her dual presence on two major TV shows simultaneously was a rare achievement that underscored her immense popularity. Her career entered a new chapter in the 1990s when she joined the cast of Melrose Place, one of the decade's most talked about primetime dramas. As Amanda Woodward, the tough, ruthless advertising executive with a complicated personal life, Locklear again stole the show. She joined the series in its second season, and her performance was so magnetic that ratings spiked, and her role was made permanent. Amanda became an iconic character of 90s television, and Locklear received multiple Golden Globe nominations for her work. While she dabbled in film roles, it was the small screen where Locklear truly found her home. Her ability to command attention, deliver sharp one-liners, and play complex female characters with both vulnerability and edge made her a staple of American television for over 2 decades. Off-screen, Locklear's personal life, including high-profile marriages to rockers Tommy Lee and Richie Sambora, kept her in the public eye, but her acting talent remained the core of her appeal. In later years, she continued to appear in television series and films, often with a self-aware nod to the legacy she built. Heather Locklear may be best remembered as the quintessential blonde beauty of the 80s and 90s, but her true staying power came from more than just looks. With sharp timing, undeniable screen presence, and the rare ability to play both hero and villain, she ruled television during its most glamorous era and left a legacy that still sparkles. News 12. Linda Hamilton, Hollywood's original action heroine. Linda Hamilton is an American actress best known for her iconic role as Sarah Connor in the Terminator franchise, a character that redefined the portrayal of women in action films. With a career spanning over 4 decades, Hamilton has become synonymous with strength, resilience, and fierce independence, both on and off screen. Born on September 26, 1956 in Salisbury, Maryland, Linda Carroll Hamilton was drawn to acting at an early age. She studied at Washington College and later honed her craft at the Lee Strasberg Theater Institute in New York City. Her television debut came in the early 1980s, with roles in soap operas and made-for-TV movies. However, it was her breakout performance as the vulnerable but determined Sarah Connor in James Cameron's 1984 sci-fi thriller, The Terminator, that catapulted her to stardom. Hamilton returned to the role in 1991's Terminator 2 Judgment Day, transforming Sarah Connor from an ordinary waitress into a hardened warrior and protective mother. Her intense physical preparation, commitment to the role, and portrayal of a female character with agency and strength marked a turning point for women in action cinema. The performance earned her widespread acclaim and helped T2 become a box office and critical success. Throughout the 1990s, Hamilton continued to take on diverse roles in both film and television. She received a Golden Globe nomination and an Emmy nod for her role in the TV series Beauty and the Beast. 1987 to 1989, in which she starred opposite Ron Perlman. She also appeared in thrillers like Dante's Peak and independent dramas that showcased her range beyond the action genre. Off-screen, Hamilton's life has been marked by personal challenges and growth. She has spoken openly about her struggles with bipolar disorder, becoming an advocate for mental health awareness. She was married to Terminator director James Cameron from 1997 to 1999, a relationship that garnered media attention during the height of her career. In 2019, Hamilton returned once again as Sarah Connor in Terminator: Dark Fate, reaffirming her legacy as a foundational figure in the action genre. Unlike many of her peers, she reprised the role not as a nostalgic cameo, but as a fully realized character, older, grittier, and even more battle-worn. The performance was praised for its authenticity and for pushing boundaries regarding age and gender in Hollywood. Linda Hamilton's impact on cinema goes far beyond muscle and firepower. She helped usher in a new era of female action heroes, complex, flawed, and human. Her portrayal of Sarah Connor became a cultural touchstone, influencing countless films and characters that followed. With her fearless performances and off-screen advocacy, Linda Hamilton remains a symbol of empowerment and endurance. Her legacy is not only in the explosions and chases she survived on screen, but in the barriers she broke down for women in film. News 13. Molly Ringwald, the Brat Pack's enduring icon. Molly Ringwald rose to fame in the 1980s as the quintessential girl next door of teen cinema, becoming one of the most recognizable faces of the decade. Known for her roles in 16 Candles, The Breakfast Club, and Pretty in Pink, she became a defining figure of adolescent angst and charm during the era of the Brat Pack, a group of young actors who shaped teen movies of the time. Born on February 18, 1968, in Roseville, California, Molly Kathleen Ringwald grew up in a creative household. Her father was a jazz pianist, and she was exposed to the arts from an early age. She began acting at just 5 years old in stage productions and quickly transitioned to television, appearing on the sitcom The Facts of Life when she was a preteen. Ringwald's big break came when director John Hughes cast her as the lead in 16 Candles, 1984. A coming-of-age story that captured the awkwardness, hopes, and frustrations of teenage life. Her performance, equal parts vulnerable and self-assured, struck a chord with audiences and critics alike. Hughes would go on to cast her in two more of his most iconic films, The Breakfast Club, 1985, where she played the stylish but misunderstood Claire Standish, and Pretty in Pink, 1986, as the independent and love-struck Andy Walsh. These films helped establish Ringwald as the emotional core of the Brat Pack generation. As a teen icon, Ringwald offered something rare: portrayals of young women that were intelligent, emotional, and authentically conflicted. She wasn't just a love interest or sidekick. She was the lead, navigating the complexities of identity, class, and friendship with sincerity. Her on-screen presence helped shift how teenage girls were represented in Hollywood. Despite her success, Ringwald made the bold decision to distance herself from Hollywood in the late 1980s, relocating to France and exploring different creative pursuits, including acting in French films, writing, and music. She later returned to American television and film in more mature roles, and in recent years, she has been seen in projects like The Secret Life of the American Teenager and Netflix's Riverdale, where she plays the mother of Archie Andrews. In addition to acting, Ringwald has established herself as a writer, publishing essays, fiction, and memoirs. Her work often explores topics of fame, feminism, parenting, and the evolving perception of her iconic roles. She's also been a thoughtful commentator on how her early films, while groundbreaking in some ways, reflect outdated views by today's standards. Molly Ringwald's legacy endures not just because of her memorable performances, but because of the authenticity and thoughtfulness she brings to her work. As the face of 1980s teen cinema, she gave voice to a generation and continues to evolve with grace, wit, and enduring charm. News 14. Kelly LeBrock, the ultimate 80s fantasy icon. Kelly LeBrock became a pop culture sensation in the 1980s, embodying the era's ideals of beauty, mystery, and allure. Best known for her role as the dream woman Lisa in the cult classic Weird Science, 1985, LeBrock captivated audiences with her unique blend of sophistication and playful charm, earning her a permanent place in Hollywood history. Born on March 24, 1960 in New York City and raised in London, LeBrock was exposed to diverse cultures from an early age. Her exotic looks, a result of her French-Canadian and Irish heritage, made her stand out in the world of fashion. At just 16, she began modeling professionally, and by the age of 19, she became one of the most in-demand models in the industry. She rose to fame through her work with Christian Dior and became a household name after appearing in a now iconic Pantene shampoo commercial, delivering the memorable line, "Don't hate me because I'm beautiful." LeBrock transitioned from modeling to acting in the early 1980s, making her film debut opposite Gene Wilder in The Woman in Red, 1984. The film showcased her beauty and comedic timing, setting the stage for what would become her most famous role a year later. In Weird Science, directed by John Hughes, LeBrock played Lisa, a computer-generated dream woman brought to life by two teenage boys. With confidence, intelligence, and a knowing wink, she flipped the male fantasy trope on its head, becoming an empowering and comedic figure rather than just eye candy. Despite her early success, LeBrock didn't pursue a high-output Hollywood career. Instead, she chose roles selectively, often prioritizing her personal life over public attention. She married action star Steven Seagal in 1987, with whom she had 3 children before their divorce in 1996. During this period, she stepped away from the spotlight to focus on raising her family. In the 2000s and beyond, LeBrock occasionally returned to acting in independent films and television appearances, and she also participated in reality shows like Celebrity Fit Club. Beyond entertainment, she has been actively involved in charity work, particularly with organizations focused on terminal illness and addiction recovery, inspired in part by personal experiences. LeBrock has also spoken out about the pressures of fame and the objectification of women in the entertainment industry. Her candid reflections reveal a woman who values authenticity and inner strength over glamour and celebrity. Though she didn't pursue a prolific film career, Kelly LeBrock's impact is enduring. Her portrayal of Lisa in Weird Science remains an iconic part of 80s cinema, representing both the era's playful fantasies and its shifting perceptions of womanhood. With beauty, grace, and self-awareness, LeBrock transformed a fantasy figure into a symbol of empowerment, leaving a legacy far richer than the roles she chose. News 15. Kim Basinger. From Bond girl to Hollywood powerhouse, Kim Basinger is an Academy Award-winning actress whose smoldering screen presence, versatility, and complex portrayals of sensual and strong-willed women made her one of the most compelling stars of the 1980s and 1990s. Known for her roles in Never Say Never Again, 1983, and the provocative 912 Weeks, 1986, Basinger captivated audiences with her beauty and emotional depth. Born on December 8, 1953 in Athens, Georgia, Camila Ann Basinger grew up in a musical and theatrical family. A shy child, she found an early outlet in ballet and eventually pursued modeling, signing with the Ford Modeling Agency in New York. Her striking looks soon graced countless magazine covers and ad campaigns, but Basinger felt drawn to acting. In the late 1970s, she began landing television roles, gradually transitioning to film. Her breakout came in 1983 when she starred opposite Sean Connery as Domino Petacci in the James Bond film Never Say Never Again. The role introduced her to a global audience and positioned her as the quintessential Bond girl, elegant, seductive, and resilient. However, it was her performance in 912 Weeks 1986 alongside Mickey Rourke that truly cemented her sex symbol status. The film, known for its erotic intensity, also demonstrated Basinger's willingness to take risks, embracing emotionally charged and physically demanding roles. Throughout the late 80s and early 90s, Basinger proved she was more than a glamorous figure. She starred in Batman 1989 as Vicky Vale, and in 1997 delivered a career-defining performance in L.A. Confidential. Playing Lynn Bracken, a high-class call girl with a haunting vulnerability, Basinger earned widespread critical acclaim, winning the Academy Award, Golden Globe, and SAG Award for Best Supporting Actress. Despite her professional highs, Basinger's career was marked by personal and legal challenges. A costly breach of contract lawsuit in the early 90s temporarily stalled her momentum, and her high-profile marriage to actor Alec Baldwin from 1993 to 2002 was heavily scrutinized by the media. The couple had one daughter, Ireland Baldwin. Known for her reclusive and introverted nature, Basinger often avoided the Hollywood spotlight, preferring a more private life. In later years, she continued to act in select roles, including appearances in 8 Mile, 2002, The Door in the Floor, 2004, and 50 Shades Darker, 2017, showcasing her continued relevance and range as an actress. Off-screen, Basinger is an advocate for animal rights and environmental causes, lending her voice and resources to organizations aligned with her values. Her passion for activism reflects the quiet strength and integrity she often brought to her roles. Kim Basinger's legacy is one of transformation and tenacity. From a Bond girl to an Oscar winner, she defied the industry's expectations, choosing roles that balanced allure with emotional substance. Her journey is a testament to the enduring power of talent, resilience, and authenticity in an ever-changing Hollywood. News 16. Olivia Newton-John, the Grease star who made physical a pop culture moment. Olivia Newton-John was one of the most iconic performers of the 1970s and 1980s, whose career spanned across music, film, and television. With her irresistible charm, distinctive voice, and remarkable ability to evolve with the times, she became a beloved figure in pop culture, best known for her role as Sandy in Grease, and her chart-topping hit, Physical, which became a defining moment in music history. Born on September 26, 1948, in Cambridge, England, Olivia Newton-John moved to Melbourne, Australia, with her family when she was a child. Her musical talent was apparent early on, and she began singing as a teenager, winning a talent contest that would launch her career. She initially rose to fame in the early 1970s with a string of soft country pop hits, including If You Love Me, Let Me Know, and Let Me Be There, the latter of which earned her a Grammy Award in 1974. Her breakthrough in Hollywood came in 1978 when she was cast as Sandy Olsen in the blockbuster musical Grease, opposite John Travolta. The film became a cultural phenomenon, and Newton-John's portrayal of the sweet, innocent Sandy who undergoes a dramatic transformation captured the hearts of millions. Songs like You're the One That I Want and Hopelessly Devoted to You became instant classics, and Grease remains one of the most beloved musicals of all time. Olivia's performance cemented her place in Hollywood history and made her a household name. In the early 1980s, Newton-John reinvented herself musically, embracing a more contemporary, bold image that resonated with the fitness craze of the time. Her 1981 album Physical became a landmark moment in pop culture. The title track, with its catchy beat and suggestive lyrics, was both provocative and playful, and its music video, featuring Olivia in a workout-themed setting, became an iconic representation of the 1980s aerobics boom. Physical topped the Billboard Hot 100 for 10 consecutive weeks, becoming one of the most successful songs of her career and solidifying her status as a pop culture icon. Beyond her music and film career, Olivia Newton-John's life was marked by her unwavering strength in the face of adversity. In 1992, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, which she bravely battled and used as an opportunity to advocate for cancer research, wellness, and holistic treatments. She later established the Olivia Newton-John Cancer Wellness and Research Center in Melbourne, dedicated to improving the lives of cancer patients. Despite facing health challenges, Newton-John continued to perform and tour, delighting audiences with her timeless music and radiant presence. She also remained deeply involved in environmental and humanitarian causes, using her platform to promote wellness and positivity. Olivia Newton-John passed away on August 8, 2022, at the age of 73, leaving behind a remarkable legacy. Her influence in music, film, and charitable work continues to inspire fans worldwide. Whether as the sweet Sandy or the bold fitness icon, Olivia Newton-John's impact on pop culture will forever be remembered. News 17. Raquel Welch, timeless beauty and icon of the 60s and 70s. Raquel Welch, one of the most enduring symbols of Hollywood glamour, remains an icon of beauty and talent. Born Jo Raquel Tejada on September 5, 1940 in Chicago, Illinois, she quickly rose to fame as one of the most sought-after actresses of the 1960s and 1970s. Known for her striking beauty, sensuality, and strong on-screen presence, Raquel carved a space for herself in the male-dominated world of Hollywood, becoming a trailblazer for women in film. Welch's early life was marked by her diverse heritage, Her father, a Bolivian immigrant, and her mother, of English descent, shaped Raquel's cultural identity. After attending the University of California, Berkeley, and initially pursuing a career in ballet and theater, Welch decided to pursue acting, despite early rejections due to her Latina background. However, in 1964, she signed with 20th Century Fox and her Hollywood career began. Her big break came in 1966 with the film 1,000,000 Years BC, where she famously appeared in a doe-skin bikini. Although she had only a few lines of dialogue, the iconic image of Welch emerging from the ocean became one of the most famous stills in film history. This image cemented her status as a sex symbol, and she quickly became one of the most photographed women of her time. Her physical beauty and charismatic presence made her an unforgettable figure, but her acting talent soon came to the forefront as well. In the late 60s and early 70s, Raquel Welch continued to shine with roles in films like Fantastic Voyage, 1966, The Three Musketeers, 1973, and The Four Musketeers, 1974. While many of her roles capitalized on her sex appeal, she proved time and again that she was more than just a pretty face. Welch won a Golden Globe Award in 1974 for her role in The Three Musketeers, and received critical acclaim for her performances in films such as Mother Jugs and Speed, 1976. By the early 80s, Raquel Welch's appeal remained undiminished. Her stunning beauty, combined with her sophistication and grace, kept her in the spotlight even as the entertainment industry underwent major shifts. Unlike many of her contemporaries, she managed to maintain her status as a star well into her later years. Raquel transitioned seamlessly from the big screen to television, making appearances in TV specials, series, and theatrical productions. Her ability to maintain a relevant and successful career over several decades speaks to her versatility and lasting influence in Hollywood. In addition to acting, Raquel Welch became a successful businesswoman, launching a line of wigs, which further solidified her as a cultural icon. The Raquel Welch wigs line, launched in the 1970s, became one of the most popular and successful wig brands in the world, with her personal style influencing trends in hair fashion. Welch's personal life was often in the headlines, with a series of high-profile marriages and relationships. However, her legacy as an empowered woman, both on-screen and in her personal choices, has endured through the years. Whether on the silver screen or in her more private endeavors, Welch exemplified the ideal of beauty, strength, and independence. Raquel Welch's influence extends far beyond her era of film stardom. She remains a symbol of timeless beauty, unyielding strength, and resilience. Even in the early 80s, with Hollywood shifting and new stars emerging, Raquel Welch's enduring presence was a reminder of the lasting power of grace, elegance, and self-assurance. Her place in pop culture and the history of film is cemented, and her legacy continues to inspire new generations of women and fans worldwide. News 18. Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, the spooky, seductive cult icon. Cassandra Peterson, best known for her iconic alter ego Elvira, has become one of the most enduring and beloved figures in pop culture. With her trademark gothic attire, oversized bouffant hair, and quick-witted humor, Elvira has captivated audiences for decades, solidifying her place as a cult icon in the realms of horror and comedy. Born on September 17, 1951 in Brighton Park, Illinois, Cassandra Peterson had a unique childhood, marked by her love for horror movies and the macabre. After moving to California in the 1970s to pursue a career in acting, Peterson's early years in Hollywood were filled with odd jobs and bit parts in films and television. She appeared in several uncredited roles, including a brief stint as a showgirl in the film The Apple, 1980. But her real break came when she was cast in a local Los Angeles television show called Elvira's Movie Macabre in 1981. It was with this role that Peterson transformed into Elvira, mistress of the dark, a sharp-tongued, vampy host who introduced low-budget horror films, often poking fun at their campy plots and poor production values. Elvira's mix of sultry allure, over-the-top camp, and biting wit made her an instant hit with audiences, quickly propelling her into the spotlight. Elvira's playful, double entendre-laden commentary and signature boobalicious style captivated fans, earning her the title of Queen of Halloween. Peterson's success as Elvira went beyond just the TV show. The character became an overnight sensation, spawning a host of successful merchandise. A movie, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, 1988, and even a Halloween special that became a yearly tradition. The character's popularity led to Elvira being featured in everything from comic books to a series of Halloween costumes. Through it all, Peterson remained dedicated to maintaining Elvira's status as a comedic, empowering figure who could embrace her sexuality and power without shame. But Peterson's career was far from limited to just one persona. Behind Elvira, she is a fiercely intelligent and savvy businesswoman, maintaining tight control over her brand. She expanded her reach into several other areas, including writing a best-selling memoir, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark, Memoirs of the Queen of Halloween, in which she opened up about her experiences in Hollywood, her journey as Elvira, and the challenges she faced as a woman in a largely male-dominated industry. Her influence has been felt across generations. Elvira's cult following spans not just horror fans, but also those who admire her unapologetic confidence and irreverent humor. As a trailblazer for female characters in the horror genre, Elvira has become a role model for women who seek to embrace their quirks, sexuality, and individuality. Her legacy endures as one of the few characters to embody the combination of camp, sex appeal, and wit in a way that transcends traditional stereotypes. Even as the world of entertainment changes, Elvira has remained a fixture in Halloween culture and beyond. From her various television appearances to her live shows and Halloween specials, Elvira remains a voice for empowerment and joy, never losing her edge or charm. In a world obsessed with reinvention, Elvira has never had to change. She remains the same cheeky, spooky, and seductive figure she's always been, a testament to Cassandra Peterson's enduring creative spirit. Cassandra Peterson as Elvira isn't just a spooky icon. She's a beacon of independence, creativity, and timeless wit, proving that even in the world of horror, you can find beauty, strength, and humor. News 19. Samantha Fox, British pop star and pinup with massive 80s appeal. Samantha Fox rose to fame in the 1980s as one of the era's most iconic pop stars and pinups. Born on April 15, 1966 in London, England, Fox became a household name, captivating audiences with her striking looks, catchy music, and unapologetic confidence. She remains one of the most enduring figures of the 80s pop culture, known for her unique blend of sex appeal, chart-topping hits, and boundary-pushing image. Samantha's journey to stardom began in the world of modeling. At just 16 years old, she began working as a model, landing a contract with the Sun newspaper to become their famous Page 3 girl. This role catapulted her to national attention in the UK, and her playful, seductive persona made her an instant favorite with the public. Her fame as a pinup quickly transcended the modeling world, and it wasn't long before Samantha Fox caught the eye of the music industry. In 1986, Fox made the leap from modeling to music with her debut single, Touch Me, I Want Your Body. The track became an international sensation, topping charts in several countries, including the UK and the US. It was a catchy blend of dance pop with suggestive lyrics, and Fox's sultry delivery made it an instant hit. The song, with its infectious beat and Fox's cheeky charm, became a defining anthem of the 1980s, cementing her as a pop star in her own right. Her debut album, also titled Touch Me, was released in 1986 and went on to achieve massive commercial success. It included additional hits such as Do Ya, Wanna Please Me, and Samsational. Samantha Fox's music was a mix of upbeat, danceable pop tunes and sultry ballads that showcased her vocal talent. Though she was initially marketed primarily for her looks, it was clear that Fox had the charisma and talent to succeed in the music world beyond just being a pretty face. Throughout the late 80s, Samantha Fox continued to dominate the charts with several albums, including Samantha Fox, 1987, and I Wanna Have Some Fun, 1988. These albums featured hits like I Surrender and the title track from I Wanna Have Some Fun, both of which solidified her status as a pop powerhouse. Fox's image was one of confidence and empowerment, as she embraced both her sexuality and her musical career with equal vigor. However, while her music career continued to thrive, Fox also maintained her status as a global pinup. She was featured in numerous magazines, appeared in advertisements, and her image was synonymous with the bold, sexy, and liberated spirit of the 1980s. The combination of her pop stardom and pinup status made her one of the most recognizable figures of the era. By the 1990s, Samantha Fox's career began to shift. She moved towards more mature and introspective music, though she still maintained a loyal fan base. She ventured into acting and continued to make television appearances, while also embracing a more private personal life. Today, Samantha Fox is recognized not just for her place in pop history, but for her role as a pioneering female figure who managed to blend beauty, sex appeal, and musical talent in a way few others could. Her legacy as a pop star and pinup continues to resonate with fans, and she remains an enduring symbol of 1980s pop culture, a fearless, confident woman who captivated the world both through her music and her image. From her sultry ballads to her pop anthems, Samantha Fox will always be remembered as one of the quintessential stars of the 80s, with an appeal that continues to transcend generations. News 20. Tina Turner, the rock goddess with unmatched legs, power, and presence. Tina Turner, born Anna Mae Bullock on November 26, 1939, in Nutbush, Tennessee, is a legendary figure in music history whose career spanned decades and left an indelible mark on rock, soul, and pop music. Known for her electric stage presence, powerhouse vocals, and unmatched energy, Turner became a symbol of resilience, reinvention, and triumph over adversity. With her iconic legs, raspy voice, and undeniable charisma, she solidified herself as one of the most influential and beloved performers of all time. Tina's musical journey began in the 1950s, when she started performing in local clubs, but her breakthrough came in the early 1960s, when she joined forces with Ike Turner. As the frontwoman of Ike and Tina Turner Revue, Tina's raw energy and powerful voice stood out, earning her recognition as a formidable talent. Hits like Proud Mary and River Deep Mountain High showcased her vocal range and electrifying stage presence, propelling the duo to stardom. However, the relationship with Ike was fraught with abuse, both emotional and physical, which would eventually lead to her courageous decision to leave him in 1976. Her solo career began with a bold and transformative reinvention. In 1984, Private Dancer, her fifth studio album, catapulted Tina Turner to global superstardom. The album's title track, alongside songs like What's Love Got to Do With It and Better Be Good to Me, showcased Tina's ability to blend rock, pop, and soul effortlessly. What's Love Got to Do With It became one of her signature songs, and it earned her several Grammy Awards, including Record of the Year. This resurgence in her career in the 80s marked her as a resilient icon, emerging from the ashes of her troubled past to become a force in the music world. Beyond her vocals, Tina Turner became synonymous with energy and presence. Her performances were legendary, often described as raw, intense, and powerful. Her distinct legs-long, toned, and endlessly captivating became as iconic as her voice, often becoming the subject of admiration and adoration. Tina's fashion sense, from her spiky hair to her signature leather outfits, was as bold as her musical persona, cementing her as both a style and cultural icon. Turner's influence was not limited to her music. She became a symbol of empowerment, especially for women. Her resilience, particularly in overcoming her abusive marriage to Ike Turner and emerging as a solo artist, inspired countless fans around the world. In her memoir, I, Tina, 1986, and the subsequent movie What's Love Got to Do With It, 1993, Tina shared her tumultuous journey, offering a candid and courageous look at her personal life and career. Her impact transcended music, as she became a beloved figure in pop culture, appearing in movies like Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome, 1985, and launching a successful world tour in the late 80s and early 90s. Even as she entered her later years, Tina remained an enduring figure, influencing generations of artists across genres, from Beyoncé to Rihanna. Tina Turner's legacy as a rock goddess is unparalleled. Her ability to blend power, grace, and grit on stage, combined with her unmatched vocal talents, made her one of the greatest performers of all time. In 2021, she was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame as a solo artist, solidifying her place in music history. Tina Turner's story of survival, strength, and reinvention continues to inspire, reminding the world that true greatness lies not in avoiding adversity, but in overcoming it with style, power, and a little bit of rock and roll. These incredible women didn't just shine in the 80s, they defined an era. From unforgettable style to legendary music and film moments, their stories are still inspiring fans around the world today. Which transformation surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the hottest stars of the 80s, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a glow up. This is Who Immortal Today, and where the stars never fade.